The champions are among us. I couldn't be happier to have Mac Bohonnon here and Kiley McKinnon from USSA, the U.S. Freestyle skiing team. Guys, thank you so very much for being here, both of you.
Of course. Yeah, our pleasure.
Overall champions this year, and that's the hardware for it.
That is. Yeah.
Wow.
The famed crystal globes.
Indeed. These are enormous, and I have to say, there's some weight to them.
Yeah. You can get your upper body workout in with these guys, no problem.
Easily do that. Yeah, and you guys have two of them, so I guess you can share and do that.
Keep it even.
Like
do some buys and tries.
Well, we're thrilled to have you guys back. How long have you been back in the States now?
We've been back for about a week.
Is that right?
We flew back from Belarus actually exactly a week ago.
Wow.
And we both went home. Kiley and I both grew up in Connecticut, the same town, Madison.
Madison, yeah.
Yep, and we both went home and spent some time with our family and saw some friends and
showed them some of the hardware.
Showed them some of the hardware. Yeah, I think
some photos.
I think they would have been pretty bummed if they didn't get to check it out.
Indeed. What's that like? Let's talk about this outside of the athlete perspective for a moment. Just you guys, and you come home and you see your friends, and they're still your friend, just your friends, right? Mm-hmm. What is that experience like, though? How do you maintain all of that? That's I think always a little challenging. Don't you feel in some way?
Yeah, I think Kiley will attest to this too. Growing up, we both left school at a pretty young age. Mm-hmm. I went and moved to Lake Placid to start training in 8th grade, and Kiley left 2 years after that, and we missed out on a lot of time with our friends and lacrosse games and soccer games and things like that. And our friends always ask, where are you guys? What are you guys doing? You're skiing? You're trying to go to the Olympics? Yeah, and we always kept in touch. Yeah. But again, you miss out on some experiences with your friends and whatnot, and to
some birthdays and things.
Absolutely, and to be able to come home and have something for them to kind of hold on to and understand and see
why it was
all the time.
Worth
exactly.
being gone for.
Exactly, It was pretty fun. I know that we both enjoyed that a lot this past week.
And friends are still friends at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, definitely. I got to see some of my friends when I was home, and it's cool because they're like, how does it feel to be #1 in the world? Like, what do you say to people? And I'm like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know what to say. It's crazy, but yeah, it's really cool. I think it's awesome to see they're supporting us. Like on Facebook, they've been sharing a bunch of posts about how we did, and it's really cool to see like how proud they are of us.
Yeah, you kind of, I suppose you have a relationship a little different than some friendships where they sort of do live a little through you, and you get the benefit of being grounded through them. Mm-hmm. And is that part of it?
Absolutely, yeah. Thank God for technology these days.
Right. It's a lot different now.
It is.
You get to Skype with somebody else.
Exactly. Exactly. Like Kiley said, it's been so much fun to kind of have all that support from our friends growing up, and them really be as excited about it as we are.
Talk about this year and how it kind of came, through each of the competitions. I imagine the first competition of the year is kind of the scariest, I would suppose.
Yep.
And then how you built on that to get to the point where you walk out with this.
Well, our first competition of the season was actually on scaffolding, so it was interesting to kind of start off on an event that's not
in a stadium too, in Beijing, which was really cool. Inside the Bird's Nest, there was the home of the opening ceremonies for the 2008 Olympics.
Yeah, but we both got podiums at our first competitions of the season, so it was pretty awesome to start from there, and from then on we just kind of kept competing well, and I don't know, it was definitely not what I was expecting for the season, but obviously I couldn't be more happy with how it went, and it was a lot of fun.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Talk about the season as it progresses from that point to realizing that you're now within striking distance of maybe winning the whole thing, and how you keep from letting that overwhelm you and keep you from winning it. That's got to be the most difficult moment, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Kiley and I had slightly different situations here. Kiley wore the yellow bib, the famed yellow bib, which is the leader, being #1 at a few World Cups, and each time she just jumped better. She got podiums with it, and that pressure never got to her. And I was floating between 2 and 3 for the last few events of the season, and I won my second World Cup in Moscow, which was the second to last event, a week before World Cup finals in Belarus, and I knew I was getting pretty close to striking distance, but I try not to pay attention to those things.
Right.
And one of my teammates, but he didn't mean to, but he let me know how close I was,
Uh-oh.
the exact point spread of how many points I needed.
Oh,
And
no.
actually, when we got to Belarus, the weather was really bad. It was really warm and raining, so they canceled a bunch of training days, and we had a few days of just complete downtime in a hotel with nothing to do. So I was trying so hard to not think about it, and I told my coaches the 5 minutes after I got this that I was so happy for it to be over. It was done. It was off the table. I did it. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
For you, it was consistency that paid off, though, isn't it? It's kind of fun to be within striking distance and just being consistently in the upper echelon, but not the person who has to hold it together day after day after day. That's got to be, consistency is kind of the rule for you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's definitely similar, I think, because having the yellow bib, I had to keep competing well in order to keep it. And for him, since he was so close to it, he also had to keep competing well. But I did some of the best jumps I've ever seen a guy do, and he performed so well. And for us to both win the Globe in the last World Cup, it was just awesome. I remember watching him jump, and I had already known that I had got it, and when he jumped, he knew that it was his too, and we just kind of both looked at each other and were like, we both just won the World Cup. Yeah.
Just slightly different versions of the same basic, emotions, I'm sure, to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And keeping it all together. Talk to me about, for a moment, that emotion of winning and what that really feels like for folks. Can you put those in, can you put that into words?
I can try. I can try. We've I think kind of the payoff. We've dedicated so many years and made so many sacrifices, and we've had so many people support us along the way. And we've had successes of our own along the way. But one that was so big and together to do it together. I think it was really satisfying for us to kind of see not just us but our entire team and kind of the sport of aerials in the U.S. finally get some recognition.
Yeah, it's been 20 years since you guys since we've podiumed in both.
Yeah,
that's huge.
It is. And the past 6 or 7 years, the U.S. aerials team has kind of been in a rebuilding phase, and we started the EADP, the Elite Aerial Development Program, which both of us came through in Lake Placid. And our coaches, had this vision, and they knew it was going to take several years, but they stuck to their guns, and it was really satisfying for us to kind of see it finally pay off for not just us, but our coaches and everyone that supported us and backed us along the way.
Yeah. Definitely.
So talk about for a moment when we talk about the rebuilding period. You were there. You guys were young when we were successful in this sport before, and we had some really great athletes. Obviously, who stands out as the ones that that maybe set some of the groundwork for you or inspired you? For me, it's always I think Joe Pack as being one. Bergquist. Who's it for you guys?
I always looked up to Speedy and Bergie. Bergie, obviously, he had the gold medal in '98, and I remember watching YouTube videos of him when I barely knew what aerials was, and then watching Speedy on TV. And once I kind of began to get into the sport and know Speedy and follow him a little more, and then when I started coming out here when I was on the development team and jumped with Speedy and got to know him, I think I'm definitely not the only one that always looked up to him, and he inspired a lot of us on our team to, just go out and have fun.
Awesome. How about you, Kiley?
Definitely Emily Cook is one of my big inspirations, just because I was actually able to train and compete with her, and she'd been in the sport for so long and knew so much, and I think was able to teach me a lot, and I definitely learned from her like how to be competitive and how to stay calm, but also Nikki Stone, because she was the last U.S. female to win the World Cup Globe. I think she's also a really big inspiration, and I'm happy that I was able to follow in her footsteps.
Have you had a chance to talk to her since this happened?
Not really yet. On Facebook a little bit, but
Yeah.
I would love to actually talk to her in person.
I bet that would be a
Yeah.
nice kind of bring it full circle for
Yeah,
you sort of
definitely.
experience.
It'd be awesome.
Wow, this is terrific. We have just a couple more minutes. I wanted to talk about the future of the sport. Things are changing here at Utah Olympic Park, adding some new jumps, things like that. I imagine that gets you guys pretty jazzed, right?
Yeah, totally. The total rebuild of the Utah Olympic Park, the water ramps up there, Project Big Air. We couldn't be more excited about. Those training facilities are so important to us. We log so many hours, days, jumps up there all summer, from not even summer, May to October, and that's kind of what separates our training from everyone else in the world. And to have a brand new state-of-the-art facility with some new jumps up there, for mogul skiing and free ride, but also brand new aerial kickers for us. We
great
couldn't be
stuff.
more excited
Yeah.
about it.
It's gonna be a big help with our progression, and the training facility was great before, but now it's gonna be even better. So it's just gonna be that much more fun to train during the summer, and I'm really excited
Absolutely.
to get to work.
That, the Center of Excellence, and all of it here in Park City really sets you guys up for success, which obviously has come to fruition. Congratulations to both of you. This is tremendous, awesome
Yeah,
hard work.
thank
you.
Way to represent us in the U.S. We sure appreciate you guys and the hard work you put in. My only favor to ask you is, in 4 years, you come back with some medals for us.
Deal.
And
We'll
come
try.
right here on
Deal.
the show. You
Yeah.
promise me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
absolutely.
expect you on the show.
We'll have
couple
something
weeks
that's cool
after.
around our neck.
That'd
Yeah.
be great. I think that's ideal. Thanks so much,
Thank you.
both of you, for
Yeah,
being
thank
here.
you.
Yeah, Olympic champion, or I should say, world champions right here, and soon to be
Olympic champions to be.
Yes,
There we
that's
go.
going to happen next, and they're right here on Park City Television. We'll be back with more right after this.